Thank you.
Thank you, Jean-Marie. It's a present and a future with the CLIPSA project.
The present and the
because
future.
It was very linked to Falah, and there were a lot of interaction with the students and with all the colleagues during the CLIPSA project. So, will you please? Yeah, sorry. Okay, I use it. So it's a research action project that serves sectoral public policies for adaptation to climate change by combining climate sciences, agronomy, and human sciences. Oops. So, as we've talked about, the South Pacific Island states and territories are at the forefront of the fight against climate change due to their high exposure and vulnerability to the region's diverse weather patterns. And as part of their climate change adaptation plans, Pacific Islands territories express their need to acquire general knowledge about the future climate and to build their adaptation strategies into consider local knowledge and resources. And what we do know, what do we know about effects of climate change now? It's about rising temperatures, important issues with droughts or heavy rainy cyclones, rising sea levels and coastal erosion, salinization of freshwater lands, ocean acidification, and marine and atmospheric heat waves. And the available climate information is too broad scale and uncertain in the South Pacific. And so there are too few high-resolution projections, making it impossible to qualify the trends in cyclones and rainfall in the region and future droughts and large-scale heat waves. So models are not adapted to the scales of the islands. What do we know about the strengths and vulnerabilities of our islands population? I will go fast because Gilbert explained this very well. I will talk about the culture of risk. So the Pacific Islanders, they have a lifestyle dependent on the environment, agriculture, fishing, hunting. So this is family farming. They are used to cope with environmental hazards, and they develop local adjusted ecological knowledge and know-how. Oops. And they also have to develop the knowledge. They have also to adapt to social and cultural issues, not only environmental. It's an holistic view of the issues. Mm-hmm. So this is a culture of risk, and as we have discussed, and I think your question just before about new knowledge or new practices or present practices, we identify that there is this culture of risk, and there is the dynamic of the culture of risk, of course, as all culture, and we know that there are new knowledge. There are new places and new times for learning. So there is transformation of knowledge and expertise in line with social, cultural, economic, and political transformation. And there are also evolution of the means of access to knowledge, as well as the actors involved in the transmission of knowledge. So that is our focus, to understand this. So 4 objectives for the CLIPSA programs. The first is to have the high resolution. You please continue. Sorry. The high resolution climate models. Second objective is to characterize issues and vulnerabilities. And for the vulnerabilities, our way to work is to go through the knowledge and through the ecosystem of knowledge, of acquiring knowledge. So we would like, in particular, to identify how populations know and learn to adapt to extreme events. And because we will know, we will describe, we will have a more comprehensive understanding of these 2 points, we could characterize impact, risks, and potentials, and then produce operational adaptation solutions. So I would like only to point out that it was a very important thing for transdisciplinary research programs. On all research programs, if we want to have results that will be used by people, it's important to co-build the questions and to co-build also the results. So during 1 year at the North, there were local consultation and regional workshops at the beginning of a Falah program with each territories. And there were also 3 regional workshops in red. The consultations were conducted to allow island states and territories to choose the common focused subjects that could be studied within the framework, to identify the existing relevant data, to identify all the different expertise that should be mobilized, and to identify places, islands, where issues are big for stakeholders and that could considered as pilot sites. So agricultural sectors and freshwater access were chosen. So more link with Falah program 2 or 3 years ago. And it conducted also to the inclusion of new portals such as IRC at the beginning and now also colleagues from INRAE. Yep. And I won't give results because I have a talk in the afternoon and Samson also on this. But there is many results, many feedback together concerning, of course, social and cultural vulnerabilities, and also results about from climate scientists. And I will just share with you that from tomorrow to the 27th of March, there will be a meeting with public actors for co-create together how we will continue during the next year to be able to share results and data that will be used by public actors, but also by farmers. You are also inviting to the Pacifique en Transition, Regard Croisé sur le climat. It's a science society event on Wednesday. And for the future, there will be complementary fieldworks and analysis until June 2026. And there will be also CLIPSA Plus, we hope that on other sectors, because it was I have seen at the beginning there were a lot of sectors that are interesting for the countries, but we had to, because of the human resources, we had to choose agriculture and water access. And there are also other transdisciplinary programs that are also on the scope of family farming, because of Falah, because family farming is fishing, hunting, and agriculture. Even if we always have more in mind the agricultural part, and this Mariva program is about the impact of marine headways on fisheries and on other sectors, and people here in the room or in part of the project. So thank you, and I will leave the time for you, because you have more things to say. Thank you.
If there is a question, we will go to 2 questions. And maybe due to the fact that we've already followed the Maya presentation, is there somebody?
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. That was really comprehensive and probably clear as well. Just my question is on the climate model that you've got. I think if you can flip back to the slide that has that climate model that you're working on, the high resolution climate model. Just a question on the accessibility of that. Do we have access? Well, I mean, for someone like me who deals with climate and stuff, can I be able to access the data that you have from that model and then work on things that I wanted to do? Or do I have to sign some sort of memorandum of understanding or other things, a form or something, before I have have the access to get the data from that model that you're working on? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your question. First thing, all the data will be available for everyone, but some of the data won't be useful for many of us. And so this is one of the focus of our meeting next week, to decide what would be the best way to share the data. And so if you are interested and available, maybe we can have a chat on this also. And please, if you want to come to the Wednesday afternoon, night to discuss of this, it's very a moment for the public. Yeah, and you can also email me after.
Thank you. I'll try to be brief. It's a combination of comment and question. You're an anthropologist, right? Things such as the knowledge being compatible with practice. Now, for CLIPSA and your own experience, the work with Samson, his work, and so on and so forth, our work, we don't really talk about the gaps, if any, between knowledge that we, acquire through our investigations and then the actual practice. Now, I'm asking you, the question is, in your experience as an anthropologist, how often do you see discrepancies between knowledge? We've been talking a lot about traditional knowledge and local knowledge, but sort of practice, not really. We just assume that there is a one-to-one correlation. Yeah, they have the knowledge, therefore the practice is being practiced based on the knowledge. So my question is both abstract and concrete. Yeah, how often do you encounter these kinds of problems as an anthropologist? Thank you.
The first problem is to know what is knowledge. And yeah, I think that I could answer more longer in the afternoon with the presentation, but there is a lot of, I think that the main issue is what is knowledge. And for us, knowledge is something you have to have a very comprehensive approach of the word knowledge, including practices, spiritual values, and so on. So we will talk about this with Samson in the afternoon. Yeah, thank you for the question.